So we're going to move on to a little bit of core brace work. What's really important is that when you're training your brace work is that you're breathing through it. Your diaphragm is a spinal stabilizer. It works with your hip flexors. If you have a breathing problem, you've got a hip problem. If you've got a hip problem, you've got a breathing problem. So what we're going to do with Jo is she's going to lengthen her tailbone away just a little bit, draw down her rib cage towards the floor. There is no such thing as neutral spine. We just want to try and create a little bit of tension through the spinal column by drawing down and lengthening away. She's got a nice locked out elbow, it's known as an arm bar. She's going to just draw the shoulders down, and I want Jo to pull her knees into her hands, 5 out of 10, and we're just going to hold it here and breathe. There are tricks that you can do here to make this worse, but let's just start cueing in this deep musculature. Learn that your hip flexors work with your abdominals. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is hit those internal obliques a little bit harder. Jo's going to keep this side completely still. She's at a 5 out of 10 contraction. She's going to take a nice breath in. As she exhales, she's going to stretch these two away. Okay, so we're creating more tension by lengthening the levers. She's still pulling this in 5 out of 10. I'm going to try and pull Jo's arms apart. I should have a bit of trouble. So if I really wanted to, I'd be able to pull them apart. And if I wanted her to work harder, I'd give her a bit more struggle. So maybe now she's contracting 8, 9 out of 10 to really stabilise in there. If you're with somebody, you want to make it worse, you can go off and on, because then she's got an unpredictable load that she's got to work against. Okay, once Jo's done 5, maybe 10 reps, we're going to just change on to the other side. So now the left side becomes the stabiliser, but she's breathing. So it's not just locked down contracting, it's having to work with the full excursion of the diaphragm. She's still lengthening the tailbone away. She's now pulling in that left knee against that hand, and because she's going to be a bit fatigued now, should really start to feel that basin of muscle working hard.
I'm feeling it.
So this will be more internal oblique. If we want to go into external oblique, we're going to just cross the hands onto the opposite knee. So same thing, you can start with your 5 breath to cue this in, or just move effortlessly into it. And what you'll notice is this is a primary pattern. It's that diagonal load from, say, the left shoulder into the right hip, which is a movement pattern. That's how we walk. All right, then, Jo, so it's exactly the same thing. She's going to lengthen away the left arm, the right leg. We're looking that the rib cage doesn't flare. I want to hear her breathing, and I want nice, big, deep breaths. Brilliant. Again, same thing. If I wanted to challenge her a little bit, give her a little pull, make that a bit more uncomfortable. But to be honest, this is quite demanding as it is. Want to make it harder? It is. Squeeze more. An external cue, you can just check underneath somebody's back and make sure they're really pulling that rib cage down.
I'm confused.
And that's a beautiful bracing movement to do with hips, with diaphragm, for internal and external oblique.
It's really hard.
Perfect. Done. That's work.